So anyway, what else should we do?
So the sanya, you said sanyas are not, there is no differentiation between sanyas.
No, it's imagined. Just to explain, you know.
Could you explain?
Yeah, one example where others are claiming there is superstition for sannyas also. And it looks, on the face of it looks meaningless.
Yeah.
In the case of Karakas, there are differentiations.
Yeah.
So, maybe just this, could you tell a little bit more about
Oh, Karaka, yes, there is. But the thing is, that's the imagined kind of Vipratisha. Where no one thinks about the Karakas in that order Pāṇini has present. The general and exceptional rules, the way they apply, the general leaves out the scope of application of the particular and then applies. So you apply the general, you don't apply the particular. You leave it out. Yeah. And then this question of Purva Vipratisha, that's a little thing, that's introduced basically by Katyayana. There is a lot of things that have to be done on the Vartika of Katyayana. There will be many answers coming your way from the Vartika. For example, you will find everywhere Upsankhyanam Kartavya. What is an Upsankhyan Vartika? What's the difference between a Vartika and an Upsankhyan Vartika? No one taught me. So I spent 36 hours and searched all the instances of Upsankhyanam Kartavyam or Upsankhyanam and compared the structure, the intent of the Upsankhyan Vartika and the general Vartika. I have the answer. I have written something like 2-3 pages in this Pāṇini tradition, grammar and English. The problem is that nobody wants to sweat. You have to sweat. So that's why I am amazed. You have to really work hard. There is.
You have to scale a mountain. You have to.
What?
You have to scale a mountain. No, Hastamaka business.
Yeah,
Scale a mountain.
It's fun. It's fun. If you learn it the hard way, it's fun. You also think that it's my contribution. I have made it a point to explain what is an history, how histories are structured. In the introduction of the Kashika, I have explained everything in the first volume. That's where
that couplet you would have explained.
What? Yeah,
Kashika is already contains.
Everything is explained. I make it a point to explain everything.
When is it published?
I have read the page 2 of 4 volumes. So now we are working on the 5th and the 6th.
6 volumes.
No, 5th. Sorry.
How many volumes is it?
5.
5 volumes.
It was
precisely Kashika Vritti explained as English translation of Kashika Vritti and please maybe additional. Have you shown derivations there in that also? As per
in the Kashika Vritti?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
That makes
But in bits and pieces, because full derivations I have given in the Ashadhyaya.
Okay. So you are covered elsewhere, so you are not touching.
Yeah, sometimes I also take the notes from the Ashadhyaya volumes and put it there. It's my thing. I can do whatever I want. So I don't attempt to write another note.
I somehow find that Kashika Vritti with all the examples explicated, everything done is a reservoir reference.
Yeah.
If for one to use, one has to use this method to learn.
I counted there are many derivations which have been explained in the notes, I guess in volume 6 and volume 5. But it's dreadful.
So I was thinking that you had actually your Ashtadhyayi itself contained Kashika also. But
I have done the Ashtadhyayi work based on Kashika. If Kashika was not there, my life would have been very good.
based on is one thing, sir. Whether you have discussed the entire Kashika Vritti, so that it becomes a kind of a comprehensive volume of Kashika. Ashtadhyayi explained in the light of Kashika.
Yeah.
Now you are now telling me that Kashika you are separately producing as an independent work, and this Ashtadhyayi, more or less, you have used Kashika as the base for that.
Yeah.
And then you have added,
Here,
you have, of course, I see that where a lot of Mahashas also is found.
Here is my thinking on that one. About a week after I completed the 6 volumes of the Ashtadhyayi, my son, he asked me, he lives in San Francisco, so he came, he asked me, so what else? You are free now that the Ashtadhyayi is done? I said, you know, as they say in American English, there is never a dull moment. He said, what are you going to be doing? So then I started thinking, yeah, why? What am I going to be doing? And then suddenly it dawned at me that Kashika is the one based on which I did this 6 volumes. Why not I do the Kashika? Many of the Kashika Vritti statements I had translated already earlier on. In connection with, in the notes and everywhere. As you can see when I talk,
That's what.
I always go to the text and go in English. I don't even have to think, the terms, etc. I have sweated enough. I have created practically every word. I know how to translate the medical Sanskrit. So it took me 20 years from 1978 to 1998. And I did the Kashika Vritti in 15 years in between. So I don't think, in my mind, there is no question about the Kashika Vritti. Otherwise, I would not have given it for publication. But it's important that we explain each and every word, how it fits in this scheme of Kashika. It is a Kashika, used by Kashika word. And
will they publish it immediately, or are they going to wait for you to finish the?
all the volumes are going to come out
At the same time,
day.
okay, not in
It
this.
doesn't make sense.
Like the Charaka was done.
Within a couple of years,
Not
they will all be done. But I'm putting a lot of pressure on him. I told him that.
This will be published from India or?
No, at Delhi, DK Print World.
Okay.
He's publishing that. So, it is, I have matured enough while doing the Kashika. And it has been rather a learning experience. It was a very, I was so scared when I started out doing this. So, in a way, my father was really, he was saying, why do you have to do this? I mean, the whole tradition, the tradition has done everything possible. What are you going to write in 5, 6, 8 volumes? So I told him, first of all, it's not in English. Secondly, that Sanskrit has pockets which need a lot of explanations. The tradition doesn't need those explanations. I said, give me an example. I said, Ekavakyata. Tell me, what is Ekavakyata? How it works in the Ashtadhyayi. Everybody says Padaika Vakyata, Vakyaika Vakyata. I can find out where Padaika Vakyata is and Vakyaika Vakyata is in the text. Show me an idiot child, hold my finger, walk me through the Ashtadhyayi and show me how this Ekavakyata works. And people say that Anuvritti, but Anuvritti is not the complete picture of Ekavakyata. Because Anuvritti is limited to adhikaras. You know how Patanjali defines the Anuvritti? Patanjali says, no adhikara, he says adhikaro nuvartate. Yeah, adhikara is that which is carried over. That's fine.
That's a very operational way of saying it.
Yeah, so, but Anuvritti is very limited. Anuvritti cannot tell you all. So, let's find out how Pāṇini interprets, or how Pāṇini, what clues you get from Pāṇini for interpreting the sutras. Not enough information, sure, because you are not interpreting the sutras for you. You know, that was the job of the vritti, and later on the bhashya. So, let's go to vritti and let's go to bhashya. So, everyone talks about vritti. Sutrantaradahu vartaniyam sarvatra, big deal. What's new about it? But when you take it as part of the Ekavakyata, there are two kinds of Ekavakyata which take part in the interpretation of Pāṇinian Sutras. There is one Ekavakyata which takes support from the Anuvritti, which operates only within the adhikara. Clear? But across the globe in the Ashtadhyayi, from adhikara to adhikara, that's the Ekavakyata which Patanjali talks about. Na videshasya nanavakyam bhavati videshasthamiti sad ekavakyam bhavati. So, rule interpretation in the context of extra adhikaras, not inter-adhikaras.
No, that becomes a subject of Vyakhyan Vishesha Pratipatti.
Yeah, of
not
course.
clearly from Pāṇini Sutras itself.
Of course. But that Vyakhana has to come and has been made by Bhashya, but no one talks about it. Why can't you explain it to me? And then Bhashya even goes one more step by saying the origin of the first two interpretive conventions in the Paribhashan Sekar is Yatha Sangyam Sangya Paribhasham and Yatha Karikaram Sangya Paribhasham.
Right.
Why does it have to? And the people who have explained these two interpretive conventions, they have killed it because they don't explain the real purpose of it. First of all, the question is, why does the Paribhashan Sekara or the Bhashya have this interpretive convention limited only to Sangya and Paribhasha Sutra? That's one question. So here is the answer. If we don't take into consideration the Sangya and the Paribhasha Sutra, forget about getting anything done with the Ashtadhyayi, the other rules. Period. Forget about that.
Don't we see that it is a contradiction as well as a explication, in the sense saying that it is in some other adhikara.
No, because these
And we have to use it to understand this.
every rule has some particular function. So are the Sangya and Paribhasha Sutra. and they play a major role in showing the functioning of the Ashtadhyayi. See, this is the reason why Pāṇini uses the interpretive conventions. He has built in triggers for the technical terms as well as the interpretive conventions. Ego Yanachi, the genitive 6-1, Achi 7-1, the locative. Those are triggers for the paribhasha. Tasmin Nitya Purvasya, that's 7-1. And Sashtisthana Yoga, that's 6-1. So there is a reference to the, and how does he make that reference? By using the Saptami and the Sashti.
So the paribhashas and Sajna paribhashas, whatever Pāṇini has put it there, your paribhasha Shekhara goes beyond that. My question was...
Paribhasha Shekhara just takes the interpretive convention from Mahabhashya. So Mahabhashya is the one who is going beyond that. And that is based on that very premise that Navedaya Shastramiti Kritatva Nana Vakyam Bhavati, because that's the purpose of the interpretive convention. Interpretive rules, they explain.
So the question is whether Nagesha's explanation in Paribhasha Shekhara or anybody else was written further commentary on that, whether they are very useful more than Mahabhashya.
The Bhashya says, of course, the Bhashya explains under the Bhashya of 411. Yat ekam vakyam tatchaidam katham nana deshastam karoti. The Germans have raised this question, why does he use the same thing over and over again? He uses vriddhi in vriddhi rechi, right? He uses guna in adguna and elsewhere. Why? Patanjali answers that. No one has answered this question. Go and look in the literature. They think that a person who is coming to study the Ashtadhyayi and Bhashya, he must not be a dumb person, so why explain this? But yes, even the most informed people, even the Shishtas, they will not understand it. Because what is the status of grammar? Nagesha himself says, what is grammar? Or what grammar does is Prakriti Pratyaya Vibhag Kalpanaya Padani Vibhajya. So then, that's it. He doesn't say or bring the notion of Ekvalkita. So this idiot box computer is such a great thing because he needs explanation. The tradition says, Moses, Bhimsen and others, बस संज्ञा सूत्र जाकर विधि देश में बैठ विधि सूत्र के साथ बैठ जाता है और कहता है कि मैं वृद्धि हूँ. No, you have to say that the vriddhi or guna or samprasarana, all these are used as a trigger that when you go to adguna, the word guna hits you, and so you have to bring the reference of adguna. Not only that, the whole package, there are three rules. Vriddhiradaisha, that goes beyond that goes and it has to be read with, as Kashika says, Vriddhi Shabda Sangyatmana Vidhiyate Pratekam Adaicham Varnanam Tadbhavitanam Tadbhavitanam. Has anyone explained what Tadbhavita and Tadbhavita is and how it works in the Ashtadhyayi?
This explanation of Kashika, this is typical Kashika Vritti.
Yeah, Kashika does that, and I have translated that. I have put a note. In fact, I take the Kashika Vritti the sentence that I said, Uddeshabda Sangyatmena Vidhiyate Pratyekam Advaitam Varnanam, Samanyena Tat Bhavitana Patat Bhavitana. You should go and read my translation in the Kashika Vritti. I have it in my computer, all the 5 volumes.
That is one very beautiful thing that needs to be translated properly.
The word Vriddhi is introduced as a name in general for
They are affected by it.
all the sounds. No, you don't read too much. See, that's the problem with the translation of these grammars. Don't try to read anything other than what they are saying, otherwise you will be in trouble. You know the tradition, how they, why are you saying this? This is wrong because this doesn't cover that. So, you have to be equally economical, whatever this English language can do. You have to do that. I have translated many technical terms rather than, I have not been able to find Martin, I have not been able to find a suitable word to translate the word sthani. Can anyone enlighten me on that one? How do you translate? Adesha, you can very easily say substitute or replacement. What is the sthani? I have not been able to find what? That which is substituent is a term which is useless. Was used by Cardona at one point. He abandoned it too. I go and navigate in a circumvent fashion. I say that which is to be replaced.
That is plain.
No, I just
that is the phrasal way of saying
the
it.
next question.
That will be clear straight
But
away.
it's unfortunate that but it's unfortunate that you don't have a word for such a great concept, a single word translation of sthani.
You are doing mathematics.
So, you started to talk about this Karyakaram Sanya Paribhasha. You said there are 2 questions. One question is, okay, why Sanya, why Paribhasha? And then the second question you have never reviewed.
No, you have to read that, because the Sanya Paribhasham, Kala Sanya Paribhasham and Desha Sanya Paribhasham.
That's why you have Sanya Paribhasha.
Yeah.
And you said now you will reveal this Ekka Vakshata secret, but then you went somewhere in the
Now,
forest.
this directly relates to the concept of Ekavakya,
You started to talk
which means single sentence-ness. That's how I have translated it. So you get a pada, that pada is brought close to another sentence or a pada, and there you have the Padaikavakyata. But if there is a sentence brought close to another sentence, to complete the meanings or explain the sutra, that will be the Vakya. And I don't care about whether you are a Lakshaika Chakshushka or Lakshanayika Chakshushka, because unless you take into consideration both aspects of this Yathoddesh and Karyakala, you won't be able to derive anything. Look for example, Pachati, which we derive. You have to make a decision on whether the T of Pachati is going to denote the agent or the object. Because if it is, if you are deciding to express the agent with Pachati, when it comes to Rama Pachati, you cannot put Tritiya, Karchikarana, Tritiya, because Anabhite on top says that only when not already expressed. So it is already expressed with T, Kartri. So, what do? You introduce, what's the rule that introduces Prathama?
Sorry. Samaji.
That's 2, 3, something, something. So, you need that for prasama. What if we decided to express the object with pachati? Then that way you cannot introduce dhatuke kartari shap. You have to go yak way. Okay? So you will end up saying Ramena Udana Pachyate. That's how Pāṇini related structures. You can also, don't think that you are just doing Pachati. At some point, your path goes this way for Pachati, your path goes that way for Pachati. Iti Sham. Anything more?
So why did you call Atmanepada as belief?
That's the English word. What else can you say, especially when you have to also translate?
And it has no equivalent also.
There is no equivalent of anything. There is no equivalent of anything.
That goes with the sutra actually.
It's like a technical term in
Correct. But then he has used for
No, that impersonal and all that.
not impersonal,
self-distant. Benefactor.
self-benefactor. That is one use of Atmanepada.
See, there are all kinds of
problems. One idea. See, Atmanepada. What you say is
if you go in the 1-3 section,
Tattvavipraya
Atmanepada. So that's where you use Atmanepada. Then it's so complicated. Then you have
Sir, there are certain verbs which are only available as Atmanepada. There is no other one. Then what you do?
yeah.
Where you have to use whether self-benefactor or other thing.
How do you explain Karsa Vipaya Kriya Pare? Who cares about Karsa Vipaya Kriya Pare?
That is the first meaning.
And all these people who are running out and Itivasaha and all these things on the all in the radio and the Durdarshana and also in the newspapers and people running all away the conferences. Bhagati, Bhavati, Pachati. What kind of nonsense is that? That's the joke of a Sanskrit. If you can speak Sanskrit, speak Sanskrit. But no one can speak Sanskrit, that's the problem. I never used Sanskrit. Because my father was very strict. He warned me. Don't make fun of Sanskrit. What can you gain out of talking in Sanskrit? For my students, I talk in Sanskrit. But in the conversation, no. I'm here, I'm using English. But beware. And if you think I'm dumb, I'm not dumb. You don't need to learn Sanskrit. Learn Pāṇini. Just explain Pāṇini in English. You will learn Sanskrit anyway. So, but anyway, that's, I have always found that missing some words, like sometimes my wife has interrupted me. I'm just looking at the ceiling and thinking, see what happened? What are you thinking about? That's why I shut the door of my study. I make the phone off the room. Sometimes I just leave it. 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Nothing. Then come back to it. Purvatra Siddham, I wrote in 3 months. Namune was a problem. You go and look at the commentary which I have. Wonderful word.
Purvatra Siddham is also a very good
What?
Purvotara Siddham also has to be explained.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Pāṇini's operation will
Yeah.
go with.
People explain the Pāṇinian rules, but they don't explain the structure of those rules and the wording that have been selected. Take, for example, Naya. Naya, negation, Pratishedha. The Pratishedha sutras are kind of exceptions to some general rule. Asti is a general rule, Nasti. Why is a general rule? Why can't they be on par? No. The negative doesn't exist unless there is a positive provision given. The question of saying no doesn't arise unless there is a harm. So,
But do you agree as a cognitive
Ishvaro Nasti.
cognition?
ईश्वर नहीं है, अगर कार्य है तभी तो भी नहीं होगा.
It's a very interesting point.
Then there are two negations. One is called the prasajya,
Essentially.
and the other one is paryudasa. What is the translation of paryudasa? How do you explain paryudasa?
I used to find it really difficult to.
You can do it if you have translated at least 20 paryudasas. Only then you will be able to translate what a paryudasa is. That's my way. That's how I did it. Because I was using paryudasa in 20-25 sutras. And then one day I sat down, I said, all right, now I'm going to replace all the paryudasas with the translation. English. And I did. What is my translation of paryudasa? Paryudasa is similar to but different from. Similar to but different from what is negated. Give me an example.
Almost a negation, but not.
Yeah, similar to but different from. It is a negation.
It's a
It is
negation.
a negation. The condition is different. It has to be similarity condition and it has to be difference.
How
But
about
difference and
conditional
similarity?
negation?
No, let's interpret a Brahmana, which is oft-quoted example in the literature. What is the sentence? The sentence is, in grammar, a Brahmanayam jastishthan utrayati. He must not be a Brahmana since he is standing while he is urinating. Okay, a Brahmanayam jastishthan utrayati. A Brahmana is a paryudasa, similar to but different from a Brahmana. So, who is he? And what is the similarity and what is the difference? So, whoever is negated is Brahmana. Who is he who is brought for similarity is the one standing while urinating. And who is he? Can you say that he is a Christian? He is a Muslim? No, you cannot. Your choice is limited. Because Brahmana is a Hindu. So he has to be a Hindu. So now think about Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra who is, well, he is different because he is not a Brahmana. Then who is negated must share the similarity with the Brahmana. What is the similarity? The Bheda is there, it's given.
Isn't this kind of definition problematic because it doesn't describe a prototypical feature? By this definition, every feature that the spots while being should be a Brahmana.
Is the samskara. He could be a Kshatriya, he could be a Vaishya. He could not be a Shudra.
That's what is it. Vija.
Vija is one aspect, but you have to name the samskara, similarity that they have and the difference. So, there are So are the other examples. What is the, what else? What would be the easiest way of finding the Paribhasa negation? Chances are, if you have a noun negated, a compound, 99.9 recurring is Paribhasa. Prasajya is no Paribhasa. So all the instances of samasta naya, they are Paribhasa. This you only get by taking 20 examples and start thinking what's happening here, what's happening here, what's happening here. Otherwise, it's just